Hey everybody, welcome to the real United States. And I suppose you're wondering why I'm standing in the middle of an empty parking lot. Well, we are here in the Laurel shopping center in Laurel, Maryland. And this spot that I'm standing on right now actually is of some historical significance. In the spring of 1972, during the presidential campaign, then Governor of the state of Alabama, George Wallace, was running for president, and he made a stop in the spot where I'm standing right now to campaign for the presidency of the United States. Unbeknownst to Wallace and his staff, or anyone else for that matter, a young fellow by the name of Arthur Bremer had been stalking him for some weeks. And in May of 1972, Bremer approached Wallace as he was shaking hands after giving his speech and shot him 5 times at close range. Now, Bremer was subdued and arrested, hauled off, tried and convicted. Wallace survived his wounds, but remained in pain the rest of his life. Now, I had been reluctant to actually do this episode, even though this was something that I'd learned about, because we are in a year where there is a very controversial, very emotionally charged and provocative presidential campaign going on. But this is a historical fact, so I don't really see any harm in doing it. Now, Wallace was a very outspoken segregationist. And at the time of this, in 1972, I was still a small boy. And I think myself, along with most of the population, thought that Wallace had been shot because of his outspoken stance on segregation. And in fact, most people did, and many still do, consider Wallace to have been something of a very severe racist. He called himself a segregationist. I'll let history judge him. I'm not going to at this point. But the fact of the matter is, we all thought that this was the reason that somebody had taken a pot shot at him. Well, Bremer was in fact a Caucasian, was a young white guy, and he had no concern whatsoever about Wallace's politics. He simply wanted his 15 minutes of fame. He wanted to be famous. And somehow in his deranged mind, this was how to go about it. And certainly for some time thereafter, he was on the news every night. I remember this as a child. It was a very sad event. But you never know what people are going to do. Wallace stepped off the stage. He was walking down right about here at this time. This was a bank at the time. It wasn't the Bank of America. But much of what you see here now was in fact here at the time. The bank building was here at the time. All this shopping center was here. This giant food center, this was in fact the same giant grocery store at the time. So the setting was very similar to what you see right now. And if you go out on the internet and you look around, you can see from the historical record, from the footage, that this is about where Wallace was standing, probably right in this area when Bremer approached him and shot him. Now, Governor Wallace has since passed on. Arthur Bremer is never going to see the light of day, really, I don't think. He's still alive, but he's still in prison, as far as I know. So I just wanted to bring you here and show you that even the most mundane of places can very well have some historical significance. Some event happened there. And this, some of you that watch this may in fact remember this event in 1972 and how much it shocked the nation at the time. So thanks for joining us here on The Real United States. I hope you've enjoyed this short episode on the assassination attempt on George Wallace in 1972. If you've got questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below. I will do what I can to answer them. I love hearing from all of you. I try to get back to everybody I can. If you haven't already, I encourage you to pick subscribe and come along for the adventure. We love having all of you with us. And as always, thank you for watching.